Hello there. Hi. Can you hear me?
I can, yes. It froze on us.
Awesome. Always a little internet trouble to start us out.
Always.
Oh, nice shirt. That's not going to scare anyone away. You're hilarious. You really are. Right, you're a rebel maker. But you know what? I do understand. Welcome, everybody. Hello there. Welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom and Anastasia.
Hey.
Welcome. Thanks for being here, Anastasia. You're wonderful. A lot's going on. I couldn't keep up just today. I was like, oh my God, bring it on. You know what? Every time I think we've hit like our limit with the systemic racism in America, we just get more and more and more. So let's talk about it tonight. If you are watching, please don't be shy. Welcome. Everybody is welcome to throw in, whatever they want to say. If you're a beginner, no worries. We will teach you. And if you're not, you will teach me. So there we go. How's that sound? The live show discussion topics, as always, include anything you feel is newsworthy about anti-racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption. And we all know corruption is the topic of the day. If you don't know, you're gonna know soon enough. There's lots to say, sadly.
But you know what? It's par for the course.
Absolutely.
The number one export from America is racism.
Yep, absolutely. And corruption goes. Hello, it is corruption. It's lies. It's deceit. I call it an ongoing crime against humanity. Now, and I say that over and over again because I think it's important to understand. No, not everybody thinks what I think, but that's what I think, and that's what I've come to feel with all my heart. It is an ongoing crime against humanity, systemic racism. And, it's kind of interesting because a lot of people freak out about talking about racism. A lot of white folks do because they think we're talking about them personally. But I can promise I don't know you. How would I know? I don't know anything about you. I know you a little bit. I know you a little bit, but I don't know every white person on the planet, although that would be kind of interesting. I don't hate white people. I just believe in them. Ronald, welcome. Hello. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
I believe in white people. What can I say? Otherwise, why would I bother to, yap and talk? Because it'd be like, oh, it's hopeless. I believe in us. And not for us to be saviors, not for us to get our picture on Facebook and, be all cool. That's not real.
What do you call that? Performative?
Yes. Okay. Performative. Sure. It's because we want to act human, and that's caring about all our fellow humans because race is a human construct. So let's get started. Oh my God. I have so many. It's terrifying. Lots of topics. The show's meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their mind and also to act as an educational tool for cultural competency with focus on learning about our real racial history and systemic racism in America. And that's a lifetime of learning. It's a lifetime of learning. I will learn till the day I die. And you know what? Nothing shocks me anymore. I swear. It does, but it doesn't. But we won't get into that. Quick announcements. It's like, I'm shocked, but you know what? Not too surprised. If you have any stories, people always like to hear the latest cutting edge information on what's going on with our culture because it is ever so changing. T, welcome. Good to have you. So please, if you send articles or videos my way that are timely, I will be very appreciative. And I'm going to talk about me the whole time. I also have a Facebook page, which hopefully some people are on. YouTube channel, Patreon, Vimeo, Instagram, Twitter. Oh my God, just
Twitch.
Huh?
You have a Twitch?
No, I
don't. Okay,
don't.
you need to get a Twitch too. That's the new thing the kids are in.
I have, what's it called? What's that one? They're really like lots of quick TikTok. I got it. Willow.
Hey, Willow.
Thanks for being here. So I wanted to really quickly, if you want to call in, you are always welcome. Here is the call-in number, somewhere up there. And you're welcome to call in and just try to take like less than 5 minutes, so people don't start hating on me. And yes, I know TikTok is so funny. Okay, you guys, I have the weirdest, like, nobody looks at my videos. One person, I put one video up, I had like 800 people looking at it in like 1 second. My other one, I have like 3. It's like, okay, so go figure. I quit, whatever. Okay.
People are fickle. But you know what I've learned? You know what I've learned, honestly? I always thought TikTok was for kids. I was like, I don't want to be on the TikTok. But you know, I've learned so much off of TikTok. And so many I love TikTok now.
I'm, you know what, I kind of growing, my kids want to keep me off. They were appalled. No, that's, and my little one, not my big kids, they could give it, you know what, my little one's like, that's not for adults. And I had a friend who's a total accomplice ally and just a great guy. He's a white guy, and the reason I make that a big deal is because he's a white guy, and that's a rarity. Okay, it's definitely happening more and more, but it's a rarity. And he said, he was like begging me, you have to go on TikTok. You have to go on TikTok. So I went on, and so jump on there and you're going to laugh. All my videos are like teeny and little, but I have, this is like weird thing right now. I have like 750 likes. I only have like 50 people to follow me. It's like, whatever. I don't get it, but who cares? Okay. Today's topics, I'm just blabbing. Okay. There were so many, I had to cut it down. Obviously you can discuss anything you want to. Please keep in mind there we have people who are incredibly knowledgeable in cultural competency and corruption. No, just kidding. And then we have beginners too. So the one good thing about us is we won't pounce on people. We'll ask questions. And if something sounds really ignorant, you never know. I mean, sometimes it's kind of obvious, but don't be afraid. This has to be kind of an environment where people can, you know, ask questions. And if you're a beginner, just say, you know what, I'm new, and ask away. And we will protect you. Because you know what? Somebody who wants to learn, that's what matters. Okay? That really is. It's the difference between everything. If you care. All right. Here are some topics. Another video, my first topic I have planned is another video from Anastasia. And every time she sends me one, I'm like, oh my God, I freak out. Because it's like she's kind of like holding out on me. I'm like, Anastasia, round 7. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Like, Anastasia, are you holding out on me? You're not giving me good video. You made all these great videos.
I am. Listen, let me tell you something. A lot of times when I make these videos, literally, I'm just pissed off.
That's the best.
I'm just mad. And it's just like, you know what? And then remember I told you about the other video when I walked off? I just forgot what I was going to say.
It was mic drop. It looked so good. Like, you know what?
It was no mic drop. It was just like, okay, that's that PTSD. That's just like, okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm not laughing at that. It's just.
I know it's okay. I'm laughing at it.
So good.
No.
Like, I was like, hey, whatever. She's like, I go, God, she's so good. I'm like, I said, oh, well, what do I say? And then you said, oh, I just left because I didn't know
what I was going to say. Like,
it looked like you had it, and that was it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know, some of the best videos I've ever done are where in the good old days when I would just come on and I would just be pissed. And you know what? I'd say it's a rant. It's not how I feel all the time, but I am so enraged right now. And I just came on and I do it, and people get authenticity. They get it, you know? And now I'm so scripted. I'm like, hang on, let me check my nose before I get mad. No, just kidding. No, it's not that. It's just for some reason, I've gotten like more shy. I don't know.
I understand. I just, like I said, I want to seem like a professional. You know, all of us with our YouTube channels and everything, we want to seem professional. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is, the harder I try to be professional, like the goofier I look. And usually, if I just go with my emotions and stuff like that, hey, MSF Black,
hello,
so
yeah, no, we could. Oh my God, we should talk because this is an interesting topic. But okay. So we have Anna's video that I absolutely love. Another one, now it can be considered controversial. And so when we talk, we're going to put you on the spot, young lady. Number two, I have a hidden history video that I didn't personally do. I just kind of like filmed it. I thought it was freaking amazing, scary ass comparison. No, people just want to see you raw, no being professional. Yeah, you know what, T, the way I look at it now is you either do one that's pretty professional, and you're never going to be, we're not like billionaires here who have all these studios, and you know what? So either it's really, really, really just off the cuff, or it's like we're doing right now. We're being real. And the next, I have so much to talk about. Oh my God, you're going to have to shut me up. Okay. Like, we'll make a signal. This means, like, shut up, Tim. Okay. Hidden history one that I want to show you. 5 states have sent in people, fraudulent electors. This has been discovered through a reverse method of checking. This is insane. Yesterday and today, I heard on MSNBC with Rachel Maddow. Part of the people who delivered this was Politico. This is a very new thing. 5 or more states in our nation for 2020 sent in fraudulent, fake, not real documents saying that they were the electors for the state and that they chose Trump, even though Biden won in their state. Oh my God, this must be incredibly against the law. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm no attorney, but you know, I am on the planet. Okay, that's one of the topics. Another, which I can't wait to show people because it's not all over the place, and I don't get why it's not, but that's just me. Emmet Till. Okay, Emmet Till, the beautiful baby boy, he was 14, who was brutally murdered. And I will tell you, if you're new to this topic, you might not know about him. I will briefly fill you in, and then Anna and I will really fill you in on what we think. There's some stuff going on, and you know, the more I read, the more it's like, seriously. So we'll get into that. And lastly, the Confederate monuments that are in our Capitol building in Washington, D.C. as we speak. And Biden, his speech, it was kind of interesting. He was doing a speech right near there. And his speech seemed so lovely, so little, so late. But he may not have noticed those statues, or maybe he did, but we'll talk about them. Let's just say it kind of, I don't know what it did, but it kind of negated everything he had to say. Because, like, you know, he's like doing this. Okay, we'll get to that. So anyway.
Got it. Pace yourself. Don't peak too soon.
Okay. All right. So our first thing I have prepared, and let me just make sure I'm not missing anyone's comments. Okay. First thing I have prepared is our lovely Anastasia sent me a video this week, and it was wonderful. I want to embarrass her. I mean, not to embarrass her, but she's bold. She knows who she is. She knows what she believes in. And I freaking bow down to her. I loved this video. I think it takes guts to do this. It takes a lot of self-esteem. It takes a lot of knowing who you are. And I'm just blown away. And this was a video like a year ago, right? It's from about a year ago. And
yes.
This is not for everybody, for every Black, brown, Indigenous. This is not expected. There's no expectation for you to use your emotional energy to educate the system of oppression, the oppressors who take part in the system. No, this is a choice, and nothing but respect for you. And I want to hear what you guys watching think. And you don't have to agree with me, but as a white person, some people just, they learn it and they're like, oh my God, I want to learn more. I want to learn more. This is crazy. I didn't realize I lived in this system. And now you can't undo. It's like riding first class. You just can't go back. But some people are like freaked, and this is something that I think many of our rather stubborn white sisters and brothers might just need. So let me play the video. I'm just saying, I don't know what people need. Everyone's needs are different. Everyone's somewhere in their own little place on the anti-racism continuum. So that's why that makes it so tough. So let me get this started and then tell me what you think. Of course, I want Anastasia to tell us what she thinks. Okay, wish me luck here. Okay, I just thought this was great. Okay, here we are.
I also wish to hire immediately 38 Negro men.
If you believe slavery ended a long time ago, think again. It's happening right here in Hattiesburg. The organization Black Lives Matter Mississippi held a mock slave auction at the Confederate statue in downtown Hattiesburg to encourage others to vote for its removal and to educate others on what the Confederacy meant for African Americans.
We're pulling the rug off of everything, all these lies, the romanticizing of the Southern Belle, antebellum, and all of that, because that's not what it meant for us. This is what it meant to us.
With the rug being pulled off, these demonstrators shared how white women were a major part of enforcing slavery, with 40% of all slaves being owned by them, to bring reality to what these statues can signify.
The history of slavery in the South has been whitewashed for 100 years. Slavery in America has been whitewashed for over 400 years.
By having two demonstrations throughout the day, it caught the attention of civilians to be reminded to stay aware of their surroundings.
I'm super supportive of it. I didn't know until today that there was a Confederate statue down here, so I think that's drawing attention to it, which is awesome.
You honestly, as somebody, I just walked past the statue. It never even occurred to me. And I have to admit that it never even occurred to me. I never noticed.
With plans to continue having events like this in Hattiesburg and other parts of the state, make sure to check out Black Lives Matter Mississippi for the future events on Facebook. For Hub City TV, Earl Stoudemire.
I also
Let me just get rid of this.
wish to hire immediately.
So that was our own Anastasia. Thank you for that.
See, I didn't know that's the video that you were talking about. I thought you were talking about the other video where I just walked off. So let me
that one was awesome too. That was last week. We're so
that was last week. So first of all, let me introduce every one of the players. The nice, kindly white lady that was selling us off. Mm-hmm. That was Miss Willow Nighthawk, the one that's in the that's Willow, the one that's in the audience. Yeah, the one that you say hello to all the time. That's Willow.
I thought she was amazing.
Yeah, that's Willow. You had Miss Lorraine. You had Miss Lorraine. She was the older black lady that was standing on the steps. Then of course it was me. Then you had the president of Black Lives Matter was out there. You had a couple of other people from Black Lives Matter. Those two women that you saw, they just came up and started protesting with us. Now, that's what happened, because they were like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah.
And so what happened was, the reason why we protested right there, because you've seen the Confederate Monument, right? All big and pretty. Now, if you look to the left of it, it's a bronze statue of Vernon Damer. And you're probably like, Anna, okay. Mind you, Vernon Damer was murdered in that town by the Ku Klux Klan. So now you got this big statue right here, right? In front of the courthouse. And then you have a statue of Vernon Damer, somebody that was murdered by the Ku Klux Klan. And like I said, they're looking at each other, but the Confederate Monument is higher than him.
Wow.
We had a city council supervisors meeting, and one of the supervisors said, "Well, I thought we found racial equity by giving you Vernon Damer." Yes, he is in office right now.
And for people who don't get, can I just jump in? If you're new and if you're a white person, a lot of times, if you haven't worked your way up, okay, if you're really low on the anti-racism continuum, you still think in terms of white supremacy, that we as white people allow you to have these, little throw you a bone here and there. And it's unbelievable.
Yeah, we should be appreciative. I had somebody tell me, y'all always complaining. We freed you. No, you didn't. We freed us.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the scene right there, right? So what happened was Vernon Damer, you should look him up. Vernon Damer. His
Right
son, you want me to spell his name out for you?
Actually, just type it in when you're done. That'd be
Okay.
great.
So with Vernon Damer was a businessman. Vernon Damer was a farmer. He was a regular person. But then the civil rights movement came around, and the churches, none of those high Christian people would let the young people, the Freedom Riders, because the Freedom Riders were down there in Hattiesburg, and they would not let the churches, those black churches and those black pastors would not let the Southern, John Lewis was a part of SNCC, Student Nonviolence Committee, and the SCLC. They would not let them meet there, right? So what ended up happening, Vernon Damer said, "Oh, you can meet at my store." He started paying people's poll taxes because at one point in time, because we still have people that are alive when they had to pay poll taxes. So what would happen was, and this is what I found out in the 2 years I was there.
In
Mississippi.
Just to clarify.
Right. They would pay the poll tax, right? Then they would say, "We're going to give you a literacy test." His name was Bull Connor. Not Bull Connor. I forget what that man's name, but I'm going to look it up. But he would say, how many bubbles is in this bar of soap? And if you could not tell him that, or they had a literacy test, they expected these black people to read Latin. And it came to, and Hattiesburg was one of the hot spots for civil rights movement. You usually have Birmingham and Selma. Hattiesburg was right there, but those white people out there have covered it up. Now, what she's saying about the Confederate Monument, if you didn't know that's what it was, you wouldn't know what it is. They make it so a part of the environment, so inconspicuous. Do you know up there in Laurel, Mississippi, they still have, Ellisville, they still have the separate fountains outside the courthouse. They have the separate fountains, the colored and the white fountains. All they did was cover the little plate, and they have a Confederate monument right to the right. And the white people in that town refuse to take it down because they've gerrymandered everything. So even if you vote it out, the white people have gerrymandered to the point they want to see stuff like that. So, and people who's out there that don't know, they put these Confederate monuments out there on purpose because at one point in time, when we were sold into enslavement like cattle, it was in front of the city hall or in front of the courthouse. Mm-hmm. When that stopped, they let you know you're not going to get any justice here. And so they even still had Confederate flags up in the courthouses.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like I told you today, we know Martin Luther King's birthday is coming up. They're having Robert E. Lee Day. The kids get out of school, and they also have Confederates Day. I think that's in April. So if you think that's why I said these people down south are lying about everything that they
absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Lying out of their teeth. So that was a mock slave auction. And all them white folks was mad. We walked around and out. Yeah, they was mad. You see, when we was walking around the downtown. So we were in the city hall. We was on the downtown, but we were walking around the city hall. We walked around the tax assessor, all of that stuff. What's going on, Leslie? We walked around all of that. So we had chains on. We had all of these things on. Blood on us. The president of Black Lives Matter, he didn't have no shoes on. And we were all chained together from our neck. Miss Lorraine, the older black lady, she had babies because they the babies away. So that's what that was. It was a mock slave auction. Because that's what you want to see. That's what you want. Just be honest. That's what you want to see again.
That's what many, it's, they would never say that out loud, but the bottom line is this. There's a majority right now in the United States. I'll make it really simple. The numerical majority is white folks. And you might think, oh, most white people don't believe it. Well, you know what? We have systemic racism embedded in every single area of life in this country. And I just speak of this country, obviously the world, but in this country, if we wanted to dismantle it, it would be gone. So I go by behavior. I don't go by, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I'm sorry, I don't. You can talk about not being racist till you're blue in the face, okay? But it means nothing because you'll never meet a white racist person, maybe the Klan members and stuff like that, but they're the outliers, really. I mean, it's the people who do nothing and just go about their business. Because you know what? It doesn't really bother them too much. Those are the people who they think, oh, they're just nice to everybody. Well, that's lovely, but it's not enough. Okay? It's not enough. Being nice is not going to dismantle hundreds of years of systems made to make sure that Black, brown, indigenous people, people of mixed heritage, anyone deemed not white is not going to do well. So, because we've set it up that way.
What I wanted to tell you was finish the story about Vernon Damer. Vernon Damer allowed them to use his buildings and stuff like that. So one night, the most vicious chapter of the Klan, I didn't know there was an unvicious one that came from Laurel, which is about 30 minutes away, right? And they shot into his house, his wife, his kids. He had an infant daughter. So what ended up, they blew up his businesses, everything. They shot into the house, they firebombed the house. So he was shooting back in order to let his kids out. He was burnt so badly, his lungs was burnt so badly, he died of asphyxiation. So he was murdered. He wasn't a martyr. And if he wouldn't have fought back in this, we shall overcome, his whole family would have been dead. And that happened there in Hattiesburg.
Wow. That just adds incredible ignorance and arrogance and depravity to I mean, just on top of it, it's just like there's so many layers. We will never, as white folks, we will never get it. We will never, be able to teach other people who are not white. Our job is to listen and learn from Black, brown, indigenous people, people of mixed heritage, African American. That's our job, to listen and learn, and then get to the point where we are able to teach other white people. Okay. And again, not to be a hero, not to be, oh, I'm so great. Not out of guilt. Guilt does nothing for you. Guilt's just ridiculous. We didn't make the system. We didn't, we are in the system. And I always say this, I say, you know what? You didn't build the system. And this is a kind of crappy analogy, but I'll say it anyway. It's like walking by someone drowning slowly in a pool. Do you walk by and say, well, I didn't build this, I didn't build the pool, so yeah. Of course not. Do you walk by and say, I didn't shove him in. I never shoved him in. No. Then why do we walk by? Basically, systemic racism.
What I wanted to tell you with SNCC, that's Stokely Carmichael, Bob Moses, Julian Bond, Curtis Hayes, Hollis Watkins, Amzie Moore, E.W. Martin Luther King actually came down there and stayed. There's like a whole, Martin Luther King actually came down there and stayed down there and preached down there. You just never hear about Hattiesburg. Look into the history of Hattiesburg, and I didn't even know it, but you got Hattiesburg, Laurel. Laurel's where the murderers came. Is a book called When Evil Lived in Laurel. There's this big place in Laurel right now, big old thing, motorcycle. They got this big Confederate flag. It's called Hellfighters. And we marched in Laurel, and Willow can tell you, those people came out there like 200, 100 deep, to shoot us because one white woman told them that we was trying to take the monument down. And the cops in Laurel was trying to lead us because, you know, they said, well, you don't have a permit to march. And we was like, yeah, okay, we're marching anyway. So he tried to lead us by the monument. The cop did. The mayor let snipers in the building to shoot at. No,
are you kidding? This isn't like you're talking about something long ago, 100, 200 years
this was last year. This is 2020.
Can you maybe say it again for the people in the back?
I'm sorry?
So can you maybe say it again for the people in the back?
What, that the mayor of Laurel
during this
it was a protest march, but we weren't going to the Confederate statue. We were going to the square.
So it was a rumor.
Yeah, it was a rumor. A white woman started the rumor.
Well, imagine that.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you her name offline, and I'm gonna show you who she is. And she lied on Facebook, said that we were coming to take BLM, Antifa, we was coming to take the monument down. And I was like, who told you that? Now, mind you, the mayor is black, and you had black men over with the people on the Confederate side because they said, oh, I have a business out here in Laurel. And so we're like, do you know they would shoot you too?
You do understand that, like, you're not exempt.
You're not exempt. And Laurel is a horrible, horrible place. And this is after George Floyd died. This is not before George Floyd died. This is after George Floyd. Let me tell you something, and I'll let this go. The week before, a church group went out there, had a convoy. They sat on the city hall and prayed. You know, them white folks said, oh, we don't pray to the same God. I have it on tape.
Wow.
We're not praying to the same God. This is a white man telling a black preacher, we're not praying to the same God. So y'all keep out there thinking that these people, they don't know what they're doing. And
they know exactly what they're doing.
The slave auction, the reason why we did that was to highlight, you remember what Miss Willow said, that 40% of all slave owners were women.
Women, yes, I do. And I've heard that
were vicious slave owners. Martha Washington was a vicious slave owner. Look up what's his name? George Washington, those wooden teeth that he had were actually yanked out of slaves' mouth to make dentures.
The wooden teeth that are whitewashed over in all of our history classes, you know, wooden teeth. You guys, this stuff runs deep. Sometimes a conspiracy really is a conspiracy. And I promise that we have gotten better over time at concealing and changing and morphing our systemic racism, but it's still there. Oh, look at the stats. Look at the statistics. Statistics done, blind statistics, over and over again, comparison, control groups, over and over and over. Things that, I mean, it will blow your mind. I have a ton of videos on my YouTube channel on statistics that will make you think, my God, is this, wow. So anyway, there's that. And I can't thank you enough for sharing that with me. That is huge. That is huge. And I loved that the two ladies serendipitously found you and came up, and that is called being brave. And you know what? Being brave is a start. If you're white and you're curious, take a chance. You're going to blow it. Okay.
So Laurel, remember the place that I was telling you about?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Laurel, this is the same county where the election supervisor says us people need to vote because these blacks are voting. The blacks are voting.
Right. And that's and that's in what year?
2020.
Oh, you're not talking about 100 years ago?
No, this is in 2020. I'm gonna send you the article.
Please do.
I'm gonna send you the article so you can see what I'm talking about. This is in 2020 because we were having all of these voting registration. So when she's the election supervisor.
Wow.
She's the election supervisor.
Damn.
And she thought she was sending a private message. And she wrote, oh, yeah, us people have to do something because the blacks are voting.
Wow. That could have been right out of like 100, 120,
and she's
130.
still there. She's still there.
Yeah, this is what we call systemic. Yes. It's not about us as individuals. It's about a system that we all uphold. If you're a white person, you benefit from it. And if you aren't trying to dismantle it, there's no neutral. You're upholding it. So she tried to keep you from, oh my God.
No, yeah, we're talking, listen, me and Miss Willow have only known each other since 2020. And in 2020, after George, that's how me and Miss Willow met, because we were at a protest because so all of these towns are right. Okay, this is how I'll describe it. You know how in New York you have Brooklyn, you have Queens, you have Long Island,
boroughs, the cities,
right? They're all just,
for New York State.
Right. So just imagine all the boroughs. So you got Laurel, Petal, Oak Grove, all of these places are close. So the mayor of Petal was talking about George Floyd and said, if you can say I can't breathe, then you can breathe.
Oh, that's
yes.
Unstinking believable.
Yes. This is in 2020.
Wow.
So we protested him, like groups of people protested him for 3 days straight. They let him stay in office. He is now he's in charge of the Republican whatever office out there. And check this out, he used to be a teacher.
That's terrifying. That is terrifying. The bottom line is, if you espouse those things, you're saying those things, you're thinking those things, and you're feeling those things. It's who you are. Okay. And you really have no business having any contact with any other human beings, because you have chosen to not act human. And that might sound, wow, what are you talking about? That's so harsh. Actually, it's not. Because you see, are you kidding me? A civics teacher?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he taught government.
It's like sticking the knife in.
His name is Hal Marks. Hal Marks. He looks like Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Now, a lot of people will say, oh, angry soccer mom, you just like talking about all this stuff so much. And you know what? I do like talking about it a lot, not like's a strong word, but I feel compelled to talk about it. And the reason I'm compelled is because, for the love of God, these are our fellow humans, and many other reasons, but mostly because of one thing. And this is going to sound so simple. I want other white people to see a white person talking about systemic racism. That's all. I want them to see me living through it day after day, and I make mistakes, and it's embarrassing, and I feel stupid, and I think, oh my God, someone's going to think I'm racist. Oh my God, just like every other white person. Mahako, welcome. But then you know what I do? I say, guess what, angry soccer mom? It's not about me. This isn't about me. And I'm gifted with people teaching me, like Anastasia, and like people teaching me, and like Mahako and Talanda, and oh my gosh, I could go on and on. It is a gift to learn and not have to live it. And it really is a gift. And so I want white folks to understand the depths, not everybody, but enough people that we're still living this right now. So, people can give you it's not everybody, but that is another denial. It's not everybody. Well, you know what? If you know it's not everybody and it's not you, good for you. But it's enough that we still have it in every system, every way of life, everything. And so somebody's allowing this. So you need to know the depths. You need to know the depths. It's a system. So welcome, Mahako, and God, what a great conversation. Do you want to add anything else, Anna, before we move on to our many other subject areas?
One thing, we don't know who's not racist. We know everybody is not racist. We just don't know who it is. So
Right.
you want me on this belief, this principle, this promise that I've never seen. You want me to put my kids, my husband, all of these people on that promise? Damn that.
Yeah. We don't know who's who. And you know, it's interesting because as a white person, that is a very, actually, it's a fairly advanced step on the anti-racism. As a white person, I have in the past couple years being a little bit distrusting of white folks because I don't know who would want to harm my fellow humans, who would want to harm my family members, who would want to harm my precious fellow humans. And it's disconcerting. I don't imagine living it. Because see, I can pretend I look perfectly white. I can pretend I don't give a shit. So big difference. So this is pretty intense stuff. Anything else you want to jump in and add? Because, you know, does anyone want to say anything about Anastasia's shirt? And you don't have to say, yay, Anastasia, that's right. You can say what you want. Have you ever had any feedback for that from the shirt? Or
actually, it's not my shirt, it's my husband's shirt. He wears it. This is my husband. And just to let y'all know, I'm in an interracial relationship. My husband is actually white. And this is his shirt.
I love it. That's so funny.
And he told me that a lot of times he gets dirty looks from white women and then some white men, but it's a lot of white women. Like we went to the mall. He purposely wore this to the mall. And they did not like it, but they didn't say nothing to him.
Oh, you should have brought a video camera and given it to me. I am so curious about.
We have one. We'll do it the next time. I'll just put a video camera on.
And I'm not trying to humiliate people. This is like sociology 101 to me. I do not understand it. I want to get it in this arrogant way because I want, like, well, if I understood it, maybe I can help and stop it. And I can't. It's way bigger than, but I want to. So it's like, you know, as a sociologist in me is like, oh my God, maybe I'll glean something from it. But, you know, it's crazy
but
stuff.
I think remember we talked about they expect certain things from me. But he's a traitor.
Absolutely, I am too. A race traitor.
You are too. He's a traitor. You're a traitor. Yeah. Willow is a traitor. And, you know.
Yeah, and what we're talking about, if you're just joining us or not sure what we're talking about there is a slight order of operations if you're a true Klan type person, and that is they do not want. And this was from the beginning. A lot of the stuff came down with like the separate but equal crap, not because they necessarily really just they didn't want us mixing, because when we mix, we get to know each other. Maybe we like each other. Maybe we want to go date the person. I mean, and they did not want, there's plenty of academic articles on, they did not want to not be able to know what is it? Is it white? Is it, I mean, I'm talking, this is some deep-seated shit. Yeah. And you got to really delve in. And when you do, oh my God, you're going to learn so much. There's some sick shit going on.
And that was the thing with Homer Plessy and the separate but equal, because apparently they didn't know if he was black or not, because I think they asked him and he said that he was wow. Yes, Willow did tell me that. She did.
Thank you for
sharing. Right up the street from her house, there's like this disgusting trailer. It looks dilapidated. But you know what they have on that flagpole? A Confederate flag and a Trump flag. But he was 1/8 black. I don't even know what 1/8 black looks like.
We're probably all around that.
You know, he was 1/8 black. And they asked him and he said yes, and that's how he got arrested. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. Mahako, she's in Hattiesburg, not in Hattiesburg, but she's in Mississippi.
In Mississippi, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He might not have heard the introduction at you know, because he just jumped in like just a bit ago. Yeah, she is she's the woman in the video I just played, which you'll catch up. Mahako, you're wonderful. He is such a wonderful supporter to
why don't you just play it again? Play it again.
You want me to play it again?
Go ahead,
Yeah.
do it.
Okay, I will. I will do it if you don't mind. And I'm just assuming he missed it. I'm not really sure.
No.
Sure. Easy for me to say. I already set up for something else.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I just know that he's one of your ardent supporters.
He is wonderful. Yeah. And oh, okay, I will. Absolutely. Let me just give me 2 seconds. And I will do it. This is a video that Willow and Anna are in, and she keeps sending me, Jordan, she keeps sending me these amazing videos, and I'm like teasing her. I'm like, are you holding on to it? Where do you get all these things from? Oh my God, I want them all because they're all fantastic for beginner white folks. I mean, they're
and the person that took it, his name is Earl Stoudemire, and he's at the news station out there. He's amazing.
I loved him. I looked him up. I was like,
yes,
damn, we got to bring him. I mean, you know, so many people. Okay, let me find. I'm going to focus. I can do this. Okay, I can do this. Right. Boop. Okay, and there we go. Let me just get this on, and it's not very long, but it's very interesting for everybody, and I can do this. But yeah, this is just incredible stuff. And last week, a different one that I'm like, wow. All right. For you, my sweetheart, and my sweet friend Jordan. And Jordan has done a number of videos with me that were absolutely amazing. So if you're watching right now and you want to learn something, this man has been through living hell and been an indomitable spirit and an incredible friend. So anyway, this is the video, and let's get started.
I also wish to hire immediately 38 Negro men.
If you believe slavery ended a long time ago, think again. It's happening right here in Hattiesburg. The organization Black Lives Matter Mississippi held a mock slave auction at the Confederate statue in downtown Hattiesburg to encourage others to vote for its removal and to educate others on what the Confederacy meant for African Americans.
We're pulling the rug off of everything, all these lies, the romanticizing of the Southern Belle, antebellum, and all of that, because that's not what it meant for us. This is what it meant to us.
With the rug being pulled off, these demonstrators shared how white women were a major part of enforcing slavery, with 40% of all slaves being owned by them, to bring reality to what these statues can signify.
The history of slavery in the South has been whitewashed for 100 years. Slavery in America has been whitewashed for over 400 years.
By having 2 demonstrations throughout the day, it caught the attention of civilians to be reminded to stay aware of their surroundings.
I'm super supportive of it. I didn't know until today that there was a Confederate statue down here, so I think that's drawing attention to it, which is awesome.
You honestly, as somebody, I just walked past the statue. It never even occurred to me. And I have to admit that it never even occurred to me. I never noticed.
With plans to continue having events like this in Hattiesburg and other parts of the state, make sure to check out Black Lives Matter Mississippi for the future events on Facebook. For Hub City TV, Earl Stoudemire.
I also...
Awesome. Love it. Oop, I gotta get... And... There we go. Our 2 famous folks here. And absolutely happy to have Anna answer questions or take comments now. Yeah. Is she bold?
No, go ahead on, because I know you got another video. Go ahead if they have questions or if they want to call in.
Yep.
And but Mahako, that was not me by myself. That was Willow. That was Miss Lorraine. That was Henry. That was Earl. That was Carrie, president of Black Lives Matter. It was, and this is the thing. We asked people, we're like, look, we don't want to give you trauma. And let me tell you something, me being on an auction block, that was the most, that like, you sit there and you feel it. And it's like that you're up there. And Miss Willow, this was in 2020. This is 2020 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, because they voted to keep it up. Because they voted, said that the United Daughters of the Confederacy, they went there and was like, oh, the women, That's what I'm saying. Women put that up. It wasn't men. And because Hattiesburg is over 50% black.
And they have gold.
50% black.
Yeah.
The mayor is white. Half of the city council is white. Half of the there's half of the board of supervisors white. White people control that town. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Mr. F.S. Black says this is why I'm not all excited for Maya Angelou to being on an American Currency when we can't even get an anti-black hate bill passed, an anti-lynching bill. It's insane. It's throw a bone, like no real, actual, meaningful change. Not let's make a day of a day off. It's like, how about let's stop this insanity. Make it stop.
But just like I was telling you, Willow, I forgot the date that was put up. But these statues were not put up right after the Civil War. These statues were put up like in the 1920s.
There's two eras where they were put up. Two general eras for intimidation.
Right. These were put up in the 1950s and the 1920s and the 30s. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is, like I said, these were put up by white women. So please know that.
And something, if you're just learning about all this stuff, and it's not that we're bagging on white women. I know that's a antiquated word, probably. I'm old, sorry. But the fact is, there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of information that's just been completely obliterated out of history. And there's a lot of total bullshit that people believe. And one of them is that, oh, the sweet white woman, she really can't control her husband. Sorry, not buying it. Nope. It's not true. It doesn't stand up. White women, we have been the catalyst to more horrific crimes against humanity, lies. I can't even explain. I'm not just talking Emmett Till. I'm talking, oh my God, like Wall Street.
Rosewood, every one of them, except for one, has been on the premise that a white woman was touched, a white woman was looked at. They might look at a white woman, and the premise of white supremacy. It's a video I'm gonna send you. He says the second tenet is that a white woman's beauty will always be uplifted with purity.
And there's a video that I started to do, and then I had a lot of stuff that I put it off. But there were certain ways, for example, Emmett Till's mom tried to gently tell him about these ways that it's a culture of what you couldn't do, and it wasn't illegal, but it could get you killed. And some of these things were simple things. You light a white woman's, if you're a black person, you light a black man, I'm assuming, light a white woman's cigarette, you can get killed. You look at a white woman, I'm talking things that are like, oh my God, like this stuff's real. And I have a video that's going to outline 10 of the cultural norms, and they're just things everybody knows not to do so they can live. Okay, they're not necessarily laws, but they might as well have been, because they got people killed. And so I'm just saying, for example, white women were absolutely horrendous when Frederick Douglass was pushing for the vote for black men. They were absolutely unsupportive, and academia and history will tell you it was just awful. They were disgusted, and it actually brought out their true nature. I won't get into it. I have a couple videos on it, but anyway, I'm blabbing. Anything else you want to jump in?
All I wanted to say, all of the Confederate monuments, guess who else had to pay for them?
Yeah, your taxes, right?
Yes.
You pay taxes. You are paying to uphold people who did not believe that African American people were humans.
The libraries we couldn't go in. The pools we couldn't go in. So if you don't want to give us reparations, that's fine. Give us our retroactive money for the things that we paid for, right? That we couldn't use. How about that?
And you know what? Reparations is a very advanced on the anti-racism continuum. And so if you don't know what that is, I have some videos on it. We can talk about it. That's a very advanced concept because a lot of people, when you bring up the R word, mind equals blown. They don't have enough true historical knowledge to even get how it could come to that. Like they just don't get it. It's amazing how many people I thought were really, really moving along, and you say the R word and they will.
Because the only thing that these people care about is money, loss of money, and loss of blood. That's it. Mm-hmm. Just like Martin Luther King said, it took nothing for you to let me sit at that lunch table. It took nothing. And when it comes to, that's why he was killed, because he was talking about money.
And one thing that I wanted to jump in, and you kind of alluded to this earlier, when people are murdered, we don't say, as white people, we don't say they gave their lives. Their lives were taken. They were murdered. There's no giving. And it's words do matter. So as white people, we got to really pay attention. Martin Luther King Jr. did not get, yay, kill me now. No, his life was taken away from his family and all that of those that loved him. That's a really important point. Oh, wow. T, what did you I wish T would, you told her about which part of what we're talking about. That's a tough conversation. It's a really tough conversation. It's a very, very tough one. Yeah, it is. Anything else before we go on to our money and blood?
Go ahead. Yep. Let's go. Let's move it.
Yep. Okay. Next topic. I don't even know what to say. This to me hit me hard as a very, very analogous, scary kind of we're all going to die, we're doomed type thing, like, okay, all hope is gone. I don't know if it will impact others like this. I'm glad. That's a tough thing, T. I bet you were amazing though. If I know you, I'm sure you were amazing. The next video explains a little bit about fairly hidden history, I'd say most people probably don't know much about this. It's about the caning of Senator Sumner, and it makes a comparison. And the person who speaks is this woman who is the presidential historian. And I don't know if you've seen this or not, Anastasia.
I have. I've seen it. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Was blown away. And the beating of a man named Charles Sumner, or they call it the Brooks-Sumner affair. There was no affair. It occurred May 22nd in 1856 in the United States Senate chamber when Representative Preston Brooks, a pro-slavery Democrat from South Carolina, basically lost his shit, and he used a walking cane, a gold tip, to attack another member of our government who was an abolitionist on the Republican, because remember the party switched from Massachusetts, and he almost killed him. Like he never really recovered from it, and people were blocked; they couldn't help him. And this was they did an excellent job comparing this to January 6th. So tell me what you think, and I'm going to play it. I want to know what you think. I thought,
you know what? Go ahead and play it, and I'll give my editorial after that, because what you're showing me, I've seen already, and I'm not surprised. Violence was written into the Constitution.
It's like you say, people always say, like, we don't want to repeat history if we know it. Well, we don't know our history when it comes to race. We don't. We don't. There's nothing for white folks. There's nothing in our systems other than you as individuals that is going to get us to understand the truth about our history. And we need to know the truth, because if we don't know the truth about our history, you see, our history is still happening. And there are repercussions from our past and present. So if you don't know your own racial history, real history, which is completely left out, then you're ignorant to what's happening now. Your opinion is pretty much.
Can I tell you something, Angry Soccer Mom? We're going to be having this conversation in 40 years. You want me to tell you why?
Yeah, no.
Because the same people that were putting up these monuments, the same people that was cheering on the people that wanted to poison Ruby Bridges, the same people that was cheering on those 4 little black girls that was murdered, those people are doing the same thing right now.
Well, they had children. They had
the CRT
cycle of systemic racism starts with your family. Okay. And even if it doesn't, our society is so entrenched in systemic racism. We're indoctrinated. And so if your family doesn't do it to you all the way, society's going to be a real big push. So it's basically the culture or the cycle of systemic racism we have in America. We pass it right on. Nobody wants to make, old Uncle Joe feel bad at Thanksgiving when he, uses the N-word. So, we say nothing. Your children are listening. Okay? Your children are listening. That's all I can say. Sorry, I am I'm having up a storm. Yep. Thank you, Mr. Evans Black. Racism is learned from in the home first. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So this video I thought was good. I keep trying to sell it. Let's just see it. It's not that long. I hope you like it. If you don't, don't hate me. Here we are. And I hope I can get it to play all the way.
Just watch this. Watch what Doris Kearns Goodwin said today.
I think the chilling thing about the 1850s is when I think of the attack on Senator Sumner, the anti-slavery senator from Massachusetts, by Preston Brooks, the South Carolinian congressman, it happened in the Senate. And because of that, it touched, as one historian said, the hearts and minds of the American people in a way. Lots of other anti-slavery people had been attacked before, but somehow it hit home. And there was a sense in which, for a while, more people joined the Republican Party. Abraham Lincoln joined it after that. The moderates and conservatives realized they had to leave the party structure behind. The Whig Party collapsed. And I thought that was going to happen, that a line had been drawn after January 6th in the same way. Because sometimes these events just touch you, and there's a fundamental sense on the part of the people that something had to change. And we got Abraham Lincoln out of that. The sad, scary part of the 1850s is that Preston Brooks became a hero in the South, that the governor presented him with a silver goblet. People are running around with canes wanting to get other members of the anti-slavery movement. They'll get Seward next, they said. And it was part of that partisanship of the 1850s where you had alternative realities. Indeed, one historian said, when you saw that event and you saw 2 alternative narratives, that's when you knew that something was happening to the country. And there's a sense, of course, that there was a partisan press in the 1850s. When Lincoln would be in his debates with Stephen Douglas, and the Republican paper would be reporting on the very same debate that the Democratic Party would be reporting on, when they report on the Lincoln part of it, they say he was so triumphant, he was carried out on the arms of his supporters. You read the Democratic paper and he fell on the floor. It was so embarrassing that he had to be dragged out by his supporters. So we have some of those parallels from the 1850s. And the only hope will be that, you're right, it ended badly. I mean, obviously it ended badly with the Civil War, but out of that came what had to be done, which was to undo that original sin of slavery. And those people fought for that. We had a leader in Abraham Lincoln who carried us through that. And I think when we look at what happened, that's what you have to remember, that somehow some of these fights have to be fought. But hopefully it doesn't have to end up that way, that we'll know the mistakes we made in the 1850s.
Know the mistakes we made. Doris Kearns Goodwin speaking today at the Capitol. She and John Meacham, a fellow esteemed historian and the Librarian of Congress, they led this discussion today for members of Congress on how to get the history right of what happened on January 6th. Talking about that attack on Charles Sumner back in the 1850s. It happened inside Congress. It happened on the floor of the Senate. Talking about how that fact of it grabbed Americans by the proverbial throat. It was a galvanizing thing. It was horrifying. The barbarity of that attack inside the Congress by those pro-slavery congressmen, it drove Americans to take a clearer side against that than they were previously ready to take. And in that sense, it is, as Doris said, it is part of the story of how we get the leadership of Abraham Lincoln and ultimately the path to the Emancipation Proclamation and the end of slavery. That act of violence, that horrific act of violence in Congress, in the Capitol, galvanizes the country and starts turning history toward what ultimately ends slavery. Because it's so horrifying. But also, on Earth too, also here in America, the pro-slavery guy gets treated as such a hero. They literally bought him new canes and sent them to him to replace the one that he shattered on the skull of that senator. The pieces of the broken cane that he used to beat Senator Sumner was treated like a religious relic. People wore pieces of it as talismans. The newspapers in the South deified him for nearly murdering the senator that day. They openly wished that Senator Sumner could have been further hurt, that the job could have been finished. That was also the reaction in America. That was 1856, and of course by 1861, America was formally divided into two warring armed factions, and we started killing each other in earnest by the hundreds of thousands.
There's that.
We've all seen signs in front of shops, restaurants, and factories. We're hiring. Help.
Sorry. Crazy stuff.
Just one.
Sorry about that. Any comments? Anybody?
What is there to say? I have no. We're trying to appeal to a country that doesn't have a conscience. Black people and non-white people have always been the conscience of this country. So what is there to say? Today I was looking at, I think her name is Governor Nome or something like that in South Dakota. And she was like, we're going to teach our kids not to protest. You're a dummy. Because how do you think America became America? Like McFly, that's what the American Revolution was. That's why they dressed up. What do you think the Boston Tea Party was? Like, what do you think would happen with Christmas Addicts? What do you think? And the issue with Christmas Addicts was that everybody tries to make him into this martyr. He was not a martyr. He was another black man killed by the cops. Period.
Yeah, we really love rewriting history. Excellent points.
Like, McFly. But this is what happens when people don't read. These people don't read.
Yes, this is it's a toughie. Anyone else want to jump in? It's a lot to digest. It really is. So
why don't you put up the call number?
Uh-oh. It's up at the very top if you scroll right up to the top.
Oh, okay.
It's not possible to do, people. Let me know if.
Yeah, I can't see it. That's what I was saying. I was saying put it on the ticker tape.
Oh. But,
yeah, because I can't see it.
Right here. There we go.
There we go.
I did it. I'm still learning.
You did it.
Exactly why we must always teach people the real history. Yeah, lie to your kids. My God, that's depraved. Hako, these white supremacists have always lied on our history, trying to remix it and so on, or keep it out, or of course, because we know it's wrong. We know it's wrong. We're not. We're denial is not just a river. It's like Jesus. But so anyone is welcome to call on or comment at any time. I'm going to move us along because we have a lot of stuff. That was kind of deep, and people need time to process some of this. If it's for the first time you're seeing it, it's like, wow, you need processing time. And we throw a lot at them, so don't we, Anna? so don't.
The thing about it is, I'll go ahead and set up what you got to set up, sweetie.
Yep.
But the thing about it is, at the end of the day, we don't have time. You understand what I'm saying? Martin Luther King, and I forget who else said this, but white people are always on time or in time, right? Mm-hmm. They control time.
Absolutely.
So when you don't see colored pictures of Martin Luther King and all of those people, it's because white people are in control of time, and they want you to think that this was so far down the line. They want you to think slavery.
They didn't even have a picture. Right.
They want you to think that Jim Crow. They want you to think that the 80s and the crack epidemic. I seen a commercial today about being on opioids, and it was like, oh my God, we could help you. And I'm like, there was no commercials about crack when I was younger.
We can jail you and make a profit off you for like 20 years. And it's you guys, you gotta pay attention. It is a hard thing to grasp because you see, we're told propaganda. Our propaganda, we got nothing on. We're pretty good. Okay, we're told, oh, that's other countries who do that, but you see, that's us who do that, and so we're really brainwashed to think, oh, other countries, but you see, we're doing it. And what Anna was saying, such a simple thing, making sure it's a black and white picture to make you believe.
Make sure it's fuzzy. Make sure, you know what I'm saying?
Good image because it was so long ago. They barely had cameras then.
And that's a lie. And that's a lie. There's colored pictures of Martin Luther King. There's colored. I'm gonna show you one day. You know what? Once you go to the because you got another video to show, right?
I do. I just
okay. So set up your video. Do what you need to do. I'm gonna go get the Time magazine that's in color. That's in color.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many subliminal things, and this is all on purpose, people.
Yes.
There are no accidents. When I was younger, okay, like many moons ago, I was very sweet and naive, and I thought, well, maybe they just don't really get it, And now I have learned enough to know we get it. Oh, we get it all right. And there's no accidents, people. There are no accidents. That's all I can say. The next video, and jump in anytime, Anna, I blab, so just cut me right off. I get it. This next one should be breaking news on every single station in the country right now. This is news as of yesterday and today. It's obviously a story that is morphing and changing and growing, and hopefully will become a story that people will be very, very interested in. 5 states sent fraudulent electors, okay, signed. It was breaking news. I'm not sure why this isn't all over the place. Rachel Maddow, once again, explains it beautifully. Okay, so watch this, and oh my goodness, if you can, because I just lost. Don't ask me how. I got it back. All right, watch this, and this is really fucking scary, people. That's all I can say. And I can say more, but that's what I'll say. Very scary. Incredibly scary.
Now, I picked these 5 states to show you what the real electoral vote ascertainment documents look like. I picked these 5. Because thanks to the watchdog group American Oversight, we now know that in all 5 of these states, Republicans also prepared forged fake documents that were sent to the government, proclaiming that actually these other electors were the real electors from these states. And they were casting the state's electoral college votes not for Biden, but for Trump. Just watch this. Tell me if you notice something as I show you these. So this is the documents from Georgia. In Georgia, that's the real electoral vote document on the left. That's the forgery that was created by Republicans on the right. Now let's do Nevada. In Nevada, that's the real one on the left, and that's the fake one on the right. Here also is Wisconsin, where we reported on their forgery last month. That's the real one on the left and the fake one on the right. Here's Michigan, where we reported their forgery last night. So the real one on the left and the forgery on the right. And lastly, here's Arizona, the real electoral vote document on the left and the fake one on the right. Wasn't one state, wasn't 3 states where they did this. It was at least 5 states where we have now obtained forged documents created by Republicans. And it's not like they, again, created these documents to like hold close to their chest and fantasize that this had been the real outcome. It's not like they created these documents just to keep themselves as a keepsake. They sent them into the government as if they were real documents. And it's not like they sent them in saying, hey, we know we're not the real electors because Biden won here, but here's our names for posterity, here's our names for your records. No, they actually created these fake documents purporting to be the real certifications of them as electors. I mean, here it is in the forged document from Georgia. Look at the language. We, the undersigned, being the duly elected and qualified electors from the state of Georgia, do hereby certify you are not the duly elected and qualified electors for the state of Georgia. You are not. But that language, or language just like that, is in all of these. You might have noticed something when I put them all up there, when I put those 5 up there against the real documents from each of those states, right? Again, all the real certificates of electors from the states, they're all different. They're all unique. Every state's a little different. They all have their own quirks, their own fancy or not fancy paper and decorations and seals. Contrast that with the forged Republican documents. Look at them. They all match. Exactly. Same formatting, same font, same spacing, almost the exact same wording, all of them. Now, it's just
alrighty then. I don't know if everyone's seen that or not, but that is corruption. And I'm wondering, that's coordinated effort. And I want to know who coordinated it. And I want to know the names of all those people. And I want to know what's going to happen to all those people who signed a lie. It's their signature. You think nothing, huh?
No, oh no, nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
It's huge.
Nothing.
I mean, shouldn't that be what's it, a Benedict Arnold type, like, like treason, like,
No, because it's white. You got to remember, nowadays they would have been on the side of Benedict Arnold. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're looking for a country. We're appealing to a society that has no conscience. None. If you can look at a baby and then feed that said baby to an alligator, if you can look at a child in a cage, literally crying for their mother,
and keep their mother away,
and I'm talking about the kids at the border. I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about just now.
Last week, like
last week,
1,700 of them still don't have their mommies.
And if you could look at a child as a grown person and say, this child is an organ refrigerator,
or this child is going to be tried as an adult when they're a Black child and they're a child. I
mean, I know you want, I know people want me to say certain things, but this country is trash. And it always has been. And the thing about it is you can't keep going on this long doing these type of things and think you're just going to continue for it to happen. You know what they said? Rome wasn't built in a day. It didn't fall in a day either.
But it's falling. And
yes,
here's the bottom line. And I don't speak for Anna, and obviously Anna doesn't speak for anyone but Anna, Anastasia. But you see, the way I look at it, I can speak for myself here. And this country could be amazing. This country could be absolutely amazing.
I agree, but no, I agree with you.
We don't want to.
You don't want, these people are okay. So today I was watching Kyle Kalinske. He's Secular Talk, right? And he was saying how Marianne Williamson, and how if we was to elect her, all the things that she's talking about, these people don't want better. This is the thing. You have a sect of people that as long as I'm hurting these people.
As long as we're hurting Black, brown, indigenous people, mixed heritage.
And women. Let's not forget men. Right?
Yep.
Don't forget that. I don't care if I don't have the education. I don't care if I don't have the work. I don't know how to do the job. I just don't want that woman in charge of me.
We will go against our best interest. We will go against, we white folks will go against our best interest as long as it hurts them. And right. What do you think all the Trump? You think all those Trump folks are independently wealthy? Hell no.
No. The ones that came there on the private planes, all of them that didn't happen for everybody. And this is why, just like Willow said, the Civil War already happened because you have poor people fighting a war of rich people.
Mm-hmm. Fighting for against their own interest.
Right. And at the end of the day, those same poor people are still going to get crapped on. But I wanted to show you this.
Okay, go for it. You know what I'm gonna look up right now. Gotta look it up as every day. Go ahead. Tell us.
Mm-hmm. This is from 1968. Is this not a color picture? You see this? This is from 1968. This is a colored picture. Okay, so I don't understand why they're always showing pictures in black and white. The reason why they're doing that is to ensure that you put a separation to it. This is Martin Luther King's funeral. That's a colored picture. You see this is his baby girl in Coretta at his funeral. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? These are colored pictures. And this
Anastasia, I didn't mean to cut you off. I calculated it. And my husband's grandparents were alive during a time when we decided that enslaved humans were a thing, like it'd be okay.
Remember those people in Hattiesburg that I told you that couldn't vote? Mm-hmm. They're still alive. I have the president of the NAACP. Right now, he was turned away. He was turned away from voting 11 times.
Incredible.
You hear what I'm saying?
Oh, I do.
He's alive.
Mm-hmm. Breathing air.
Breathing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This was not so long ago. And if you think it's so long ago, you don't know your own history. That's all I can say. It's
You're talking about my grandparents. You're talking about my mother. My mother was born in 1955. So what does that tell you?
I think 64, all the states just jumped right on it. And oh God, no.
Mississippi just ratified the 13th Amendment in like the 2000s.
Didn't they just change their flag also to?
Yeah, but you know why they changed it, right? Because the football players said they was not coming there. They said if Mississippi does not change the flag, we will take revenue from you. The same thing with John McCain. John McCain was in office when Martin Luther King's federal holiday came up. John McCain voted against that. So his daughter talking all that bull crap, her father was against the holiday. You know why I know that? You want me to tell you why I know?
I do.
Because I was in the Army. I was at Fort Huachuca, Arizona when that happened. I was there. And what happened was the Army, we were not going to get off because we was in that state. And it was like, if you don't make this a federal holiday here, you're not going to get the Super Bowl. And that's how we got it off. But you see how history works? I was there. So if somebody tells me, oh, John McCain this, no. And it wasn't just him. And what they did was they changed it so the people in Arizona voted for it. So they can say, oh, well, they didn't want it. You know, we can't go against the people. We can't go against the people. We're not stupid.
You do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I was gonna jump in real fast. This comes up every time. It just does, and it's antiquated. It's rude, but it's true. Lyndon B. Johnson, you knew what I was looking up every time, once said, if you convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. And this little game has been played. This gig's been played over and over. And we white folks are not catching on. We're continuing the cycle of systemic racism. We're just finding more sneaky ways to go about it, you know, and the BS. Garrick, welcome. Welcome.
Hey, LaWanda White. Hey, that's my girlfriend. Hey. My whole thing about it is just like, okay, has anybody out there found out about the bombing, the MOVE bombing in Philadelphia? That was in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
I was 10 years old when that happened.
I won't tell you how old I was when that happened.
You know what I'm saying? But do you understand what? You were alive.
Freaking
when that bombing happened.
Yeah, no, I was in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, don't do the math, okay?
I'm not.
I'm just teasing.
You're still beautiful. You're still beautiful. Trust me. You're good.
We'll put a screen over. Yeah, you guys, this whole, like, I have actual video that says, basically it's called, like, stop saying that was slavery was so long ago.
It wasn't.
And all the incredible crimes against humanity that have repercussions still today are still going on today and happened in between then and now. So when somebody says to me, slavery was so long ago, I don't know what to say. I mean, the ignorance is just so real. It's like, yeah, after people were emancipated, our fellow humans, everyone just said, okay, cool, we'll treat them as humans. No.
Never happened.
No.
It never happened.
It still hasn't happened.
Never happened.
Yeah, the MOVE bombing, horrible thing.
And that was in Philly, and the cops did it. The local, how is that any different than Rosewood? Because that's exactly what happened in Rosewood and on Black Wall Street. The government actively bombed their own citizens.
Yeah, we got lots going on. I think I personally need to wrap up our show, but I don't want it. We have so many other topics that we've prepared for.
Well, go ahead. What's one of the good ones? Give me the one with the Lowry seasoning salt on it. Come on.
Okay, well, here's one. We got to listen to Biden's speech. We finally spoke the truth, but he did so in an area that, number one, had a whole bunch of Confederate statues still in there. Okay, and too little, too late. I don't know what to say. I loved hearing him say these things as a white person, but oh my God, why did he? It's like, oh my God, so little, so late. I don't know. There are Confederate statues, giant ones, many inside our Capitol building. So when he was saying talking about this Confederate flag has never been in our Capitol building. Well,
lies.
I'm sorry. We have statues of Confederate haters and slavers, and they didn't look at our fellow humans as humans. And they're in our Capitol building?
They're on our money.
It's insane.
They're on our money. But you know what I was going to tell you? I do want to talk about the Emmett Till thing, because this is the thing. I could care less. I could care less about Biden. You want me to tell you why I can care less about Biden? Because you had a year and a half to do this. You didn't care. And the reason why you're caring right now is only because Black people said, Black activists said, Hispanic activists said, Asian activists said, we're not playing with you no more. Mm-hmm. We're not playing with you anymore. Why are you coming to Georgia? For what?
Yep, I'm thrilled that they did that. Thrilled.
For what? I mean, I've been feeling like that for the longest. I was like, thank you, somebody with a backbone. So can we
going nothing?
Right. Can we talk about this performative bullcrap with Emmett Till and his mother? I'll let you take it.
Yes. Okay. This was going to lead into that. Let me just back it up. Okay. This is just, I think this was actually today, right? Didn't it go through today? In Washington, today, and don't even get me started. I'll try to stay calm about this. The Senate passed a bill awarding the Congressional Gold Medal posthumously to Emmett Till, the Chicago teenager killed by white supremacists in 1950s, and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, who insisted on an open casket to demonstrate the brutality of what they did to her child. Her precious baby boy was tortured and tormented and mangled alive, and then eventually killed. He was lynched. He was tortured. This is a child, a little boy, and 14 years old. And his mother did the unthinkable at the time. She wanted the world to see what they did to her precious baby boy. And she made an open casket for the world to see. And many believe that that is one of the giant catalysts to finally, in some capacity in the 60s, addressing civil rights. Now, Emmet, the little boy, was abducted and tortured and killed, and witnesses saw it, and the people who did it admitted it, and the woman who spoke of him whistling or looking at her, it's told many ways, is still alive today, living out her life. And this child was grabbed and snatched out of his sleeping bed by grown white men who tortured him and tortured him and tortured him till he died. And right, Garrick, very good. And I should jump in with that too.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
The truth about that, Garrick, is she told this reporter like 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. And what happened was the reporter didn't tell anybody because he felt it was unnecessary, because none of the people involved were alive.
She's involved. She was alive.
She's involved. His family is still in Mississippi. We still, listen, I'm in contact with his family. I'm in contact with Emmett Till's family. They just closed, the DOJ just closed the case in December 2021. They're lying.
What kind of bullshit is that? They closed the case.
But you notice they didn't tell anybody. They just closed the case in 2021 of December.
She did this. Her husband and relative.
It hasn't even been a month since they closed it. And let me tell you something about Mississippi. That woman is still out there. Carolyn Bryant is still. supposedly Phil Bryant is her kin. He's been trying to separate, but that is her kin. Phil, the former governor of Mississippi, is her kin.
I did not know
And
that.
there's so many lynchings that happen in Hattiesburg, where me and Miss Willow was. Let me tell you something. That stuff still goes on. I wish I can tell you in 2021, 2022, I was not there for a man being lynched out there. I'm telling you, I was out there. A man was lynched out there. They put his body on the train tracks and let the train go over him and say he got hit by a train. We had another guy, they cut his head off, skinned his head because he was dating a white woman. This is in 2021, y'all. So all I'm saying,
so long ago.
It's not. I can show you pictures of. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just telling you. I can show y'all pictures being a Black Lives Matter advocate that this stuff is happening right now. People are still being lynched, and this woman Carolyn Bryant is still alive,
living
her best life.
And I'll tell you, I put up about 2 or 3 videos today that aren't getting much coverage, maybe getting a little coverage. Check out my YouTube channel. You'll find a man who walked across the street, supposedly got hit by an undercover police.
I saw that.
Him over, witnesses say.
Yep.
White witnesses say he came out and shot him and killed him.
Yep. I saw that.
And
I saw that.
Oh my God. A couple, and this is a more controversial, obviously, but a couple shot the guns up in the air, which you're not supposed to do. It's very dangerous. And the police came and didn't ask any questions and just killed them. Didn't say stop. Didn't say they were police. Didn't say anything. Didn't even really see them through the fence. Just started randomly. They could have shot anybody. I mean, you guys, we got issues.
We're living in a police state. And one thing I want to say about the Emmett Till case, Black people were involved. If you look at the transcripts of what happened, they made other Black people help them restrain Emmet in the back of the car. Okay?
Yeah, I had heard that. I didn't know yes. If you look at the transcripts, because they was gonna bring them up on charges, but they decided not to along with her, because unless the DA is Black, all the people involved that could do something are Black. And that's the sad thing about it. And what I was telling you earlier, so Emmett Till was murdered 67 years ago. Mamie died 20 years ago. What are you giving them an award for? You know why they're giving them an award? Because I told you that movie Women of the Movement just came out. And what they're doing is they are trying to damage control. They're Juneteenth.
They're gonna be like, wow, I never heard this story before. What's going down? That's what that's about. Jack Johnson. What do what Jack Johnson been dead for how long? Homer Plessy has been dead for how long? All of these people been dead. You have not Ruby Bridges, Claudette Colvin. Claudette Colvin is still alive. And she couldn't even get her record cleared until just recently. Why don't you let out those non-violent drug offenders?
Yeah.
That's how you help Black people that are living right now. You want to go all the way back to 100, 200 years? That's not helping us. But that's all I wanted to say.
Let me just read a little piece that I grabbed, and then we'll say goodnight to everybody. I'm going to show everyone this little piece that I grabbed from Qasim Sharid, and he really said it well and simply, I guess you could say, and sometimes simple is all that's necessary. And this is what he said. He said, Senate, we want to honor Emmett Till. Pass an anti-lynching act? No. Charge the woman who falsely accused him? No. Pay his family reparations? No. Bring new charges against his murderers? No. Let me just. Then what? A medal. A medal. You guys, that's disgusting. A medal?
Because they think black people are stupid. That's the thing.
And I'm not trying to hurt Cory Booker, because he's one of the ones who sponsored it, but I'm sorry. A medal? How about the script where we stop and dismantle systemic racism? How about that script? That'd be a nice reward.
I'll talk about Cory Booker. He's trash too. I'll talk about him. He's trash. Because at the end of the day, Angry Soccer Mom, these medals are performative. Mm-hmm. And the fact that a black man, a Democrat, and a Republican could be bipartisan on that, but not an anti-lynching bill that has the boy's name on it. You think that we're stupid and emotional and irrational and illogical people. That's what I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, well, I mean, they won't
Cory Booker can suck it.
Voting rights, yeah.
You don't want to pass the John Lewis Voting Act, but you want to give them a medal? You don't even want to give people. You don't even want to give people money to survive through COVID. What are those medals going to do for Mammy and his family and Emmet? Nothing. Do you know they had to? This is the other thing. Do you know that they had to put a bulletproof memorial up for him?
Because people shoot it, and they were shooting
people
it.
Shoot at it.
They replace it, they'd shoot it. Replace it, shoot it.
So screw a medal. I don't care. I don't care who put it up there. The fact of the matter is, Cory Booker is a bootlick, and he always have been. Okay? You talking about the top cop? So you got the top cop and one of the people that's been in office for 40 years that didn't want black kids to ride on a bus to go to the same school as his kids, that work with segregationists, that is patting Joe Manchin on the back, calling him JoJo. This is the same person. Okay, let me tell you what the pinnacle for me with him. You got a top cop and a man that lied on Mandela.
You're talking about Biden, right?
Yes. Okay. You lied on Mandela.
And the top cop is his vice president, I'm assuming?
Yes.
I'm just trying to clarify for people who don't follow politics and stuff like that.
Yes. I'm sorry. I forgot. You know, you're so much better than me.
Oh, stop. Stop.
But I'm done ranting.
No. It is a gift to hear your opinion, your feelings, and what you think and your knowledge. And I absolutely cannot thank you enough for spending your emotional energy on this just daunting. I mean, again, like I said, it is a systemic racism in the United States is a crime, an ongoing crime against humanity. And there's no other way to really even, I don't know how I can help white folks comprehend this, because most of us sadly have not learned our real history, the real part, the racial part, and all the sundown towns, and oh my God, human zoos. Yes, in America, human zoos, redlining in every area, the Devil's Punch Bowl. I'm only on my second video of these videos that I'm doing of race massacres. I have 4 more to do. There's like 40 or 50 more to do. And I just can't seem to get myself to go over, because you see, I have to go over 40 or 50 absolute atrocities that were purposefully, knowingly done. And you might think, oh, Black Wall Street. Sure. Well, oh my God, keep going, keep counting. Hundreds. So on that lovely note, I don't hate white people. I believe in white people, not as saviors, not as, yay me. I feel so guilty. No, I believe we can be better than this. We have to be better than this. We're destroying our country. Any chances of us ever forming a more perfect union, it's going to be over. And I promise you, unless you're a billionaire, when we have a regime and a dictator, you're going down. Yes, white people going down. We have done ourselves in. Our hatred for no reason is destroying. It's destroying us, our kids. So on that lovely, uplifting note, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. No, just kidding.
And mazel tov to you.
Thank you. All right.
Have a good night.
All right. We'll see you. And you know what? Is it coming up this week or the next? Actually, it is coming up.
Oh, the Martin Luther King.
Yes. And I'm going to put Fareed Zakaria on the next Sunday. So I'm going to do Fareed Zakaria on Sunday, and we're going to do Martin Luther King on Saturday. And so look for the posts of the time and place. We'd love you to join us.
Yes. Well, the time is 6:00 Eastern.
You want to write it in the? Can you write it in the little?
I will. And I will. Huh?
I just said super. Go ahead and do that when you get a chance.
It's going to be on for everybody that wants to watch. It's going to be on the 15th of January at 6 p.m. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on the Black Lives Matter Mississippi page. And what it is that we're going to be talking about Martin Luther King, the radical Martin Luther King, the Martin Luther King that said, I think my dream has turned into a nightmare. It's called the Day of Action and Remembering, the Radical King. So it's going to be online. It's going to be on her page. It's going to be on my page. Look up Black Lives Matter Mississippi, and it's going to be on there too. Please, it's going to be on Eventbrite. It's going to be 15 January. It's free at 6:00.
And I'll be advertising. I'll be putting stuff out there for you. And mine's going to be a rerun of an incredible synopsis of horror, but absolute documentary and truth. Fareed Zakaria is amazing. He has put together the truth in about 40 minutes, and I will be playing that over and over and over. And one thing I want to mention about Martin Luther King, something that is something that just really hit me is, this whole this whole era of color blindness. Well, that was something that was taken, cherry picked from his "I Have a Dream" speech, taken, and by mostly, no offense, white women, once again, taken, cherry picked to make it so that, I don't see color. I personally was raised in the era of color blindness. I've never heard, until I was in college, I did not have a single white person ever, not once, talk to me about systemic racism, point blank, and tell me what the hell is going on, right? So I had to kind of figure it out. Don't feel sorry for me. It's indoctrination, okay? And I figured it out. But you guys, they took that and pushed aside all this other stuff and said, you see, we're not racist. We don't see color. So you guys, white folks did that, right? So anyway, I could go on, and I do tend to. If you believe like I do, that it is way past time for white America to take racial responsibility. It's not asking the world. It's called being human. Please consider subscribing to one of my 1,000 little venues that I host that I can never get to. YouTube channel, Facebook. Oh my God. What's it called? TikTok. That's it. TikTok.
The
TikTok. Yes. Patreon, Vimeo. Oh my God. Thank you for being here, everybody. And a special thank you to Anastasia. You are amazing.
Ciao, ciao, my love.
Thank you, everybody. It was great having Willow here. Oh my gosh. And we will talk soon. Thank you, everybody. Good night. She's like, I'm out of here. Thanks for being here. The audience makes the show. Next time, Garrett, next time you hear colorblindness, how to drive and dress, white women also had no problem with being affirmative action beneficiaries as well. Very good. Thanks, Garrett. I'm so glad that you got to jump in at the end there. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Hang in there. Be safe. And no hating white people, expecting more. Okay? Because right now, we need every single solitary person who cares about their fellow human to jump in, educate ourselves, and teach other white folks. Okay? It's just called being human. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.